It is Friday, and there are two things I feel like I haven't seen in a long, long time. One of them is baseball, because of the All-Star game, and another one is my good friend Robert Geller, who is with us as well. Now, Robert used to work for the Seattle Mariners back in the day.
Yes.
But now we've transformed him somewhat over to a Toronto Blue Jay fan.
Well, I've always loved the Blue Jays because the very first game I ever saw live was the Toronto Blue Jays up against the Seattle Mariners. I had zero idea that I'd be living in Seattle or in Toronto, so I thought it was really interesting. And Toronto lost to the Seattle Mariners.
Was it here or was it in Seattle?
It was here.
Oh, yeah?
It was on my vacation when I visited in 1993.
So that would have been the new stadium? Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
and John Whitson was such a great host. He was hosting Tony Cruz from Hong Kong, who was the leading writer.
Yeah, I remember.
And I turned up, didn't really know that was all happening, and he said, well, join us. And I said, okay. It was great.
Well, that's great stuff. The Jays are doing well, you're doing well, and hopefully everybody watching the show is having a great day with us, as well as, this is a bit of a special weekend for you because you did start on Oaks weekend. I love that they threw Range to the Fire, like one of our biggest weekends of the season. It's one of your first days here. Just tell us about, like, going back then. Like, were you nervous that day?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it's natural to be nervous because, firstly you're following the shoes of Danny, and at the same time you're also in the middle of a season, not the middle, but the sort of semi-start, and the fields were solid. They were really solid, and but it was great. I enjoyed it, though.
But you know what? You do sound a little bit different back then as opposed to where you are right now.
Partly because there was that nerves, partly because of the accent, and then just when you learn a track, you start to feel the rhythm of how the races tend to be run.
100%. We're going to go down memory lane with you and talk a little Oaks trivia. We'll find out about some of the big prices that we've had. And maybe we'll have a big price coming up on this weekend as well. We'll preview the Oaks for you and all the big races taking place on Sunday. What were your thoughts on last night? Because as we take a look at how the all-weather surface board played, two things happened. We had some wicked speed duels in a couple of races, and then it seemed like other races where the speed got to the front, they just laid down the anchor, and these horses came from off the pace more often than not.
I wondered if the wind factor was involved in that.
That's a good point.
I sort of felt maybe they hit the gust and they were exposed to that. Horses who had cover might have been better. But you're right, there were a lot of fierce speed duels up front that paid a price. The rail was still good, as Zarel Ford has shown us. But at the same time, there were some horses who were just laboring, I think, on the quality of the opposition.
You know what I thought was really game yesterday was Highland Society, because he broke on top, then it was actually a great ride by Israel, and then he took back because he realized that the pace was pretty fast, and then he was able to kind of survive there. He had Determined Fury on the outside, he had the Icon horse on the outside. Like, I thought that was a pretty gutsy effort from that horse, especially considering the fact that Highland Society lost by 40 lengths, so the horse bounced back with a much better race.
It's an interesting profile. There's a horse that continues to be a winner every year at a price often, has had two now, and Highland Society, back to really very competitive finish, a very nice ride, and Determined Fury was a great run in second. It was a thrilling race, but I did feel that Highland Society initially had the momentum in the stretch, and then for a moment I thought, well, maybe Determined Fury was going to get there, but both ran well.
But you know what, the one constant is year in, year out, Ron Sather with ROI.
Amazing.
Man, that Ron's gizmo of the day, how he pulled a rabbit out of his hat to win that race the other day, that was so surprising. So, way to go to Ron Sather, having a good time of it. So, handicapping wise, you don't make as many picks as you used to. Are you rusty? How are you feeling? Are you good off the layoff? Like, what are we expecting with the picks here today?
Well, today it is Friday, and Friday's form is lower class horses to some extent.
It is.
But what I have been happy about is when I've had groups in the booth, I've been really on with picking them on looks. I liked Snatched yesterday on looks, and I had a couple of horses. So I think when it comes to the lower class horses, I think I'm not as trusting on form and maybe sometimes looks, but I do think it's a tough program today to go outside and find value. I think there are a lot of horses who might be formful today. Very
turf-heavy card here, so let's get the clock started here. We'll talk about race number 2. We're going 25,000 claimers, non-winners of 3 here. This is the same distance as Palace View yesterday. You knew that Palace View had room. It was just a question of where Ezwan was going to go. And the rail opened up.
I was like, Ezwan, go to the rail. He's doing very well, by the way.
He is.
And I can tell when I have groups in the booth how much they trust him. They have a lot of confidence in him.
And you know what, too? I find he doesn't get overbet either. You get relatively good value.
He's a very good value,
Okay, so where'd you go here in the third? I landed on wow, but not with a great deal of confidence by any means. This would be a race that I'd probably have to spread when it comes to like a pick 5 or a pick 3 or something like that. I don't mind Bravo Kate. I don't mind Foxy Diva. What are your thoughts on this race?
I think there's a lack of speed, and I think that will help Bravo Kate. This is the one race I actually went for a long shot.
Okay.
I went for Delilah Rivera on Magical Trick, who I thought ran a deceptively good race last start.
Yeah.
May need the pace to be a little stronger than perhaps it looks on paper, but I didn't mind the form line.
You know what's interesting about her is the distance. She rarely goes this far, this particular horse, so maybe that might get her a little closer to the pace.
And when I look at the morning line, perhaps not a long shot.
Yeah, what is the price there?
5 to 2? I would be surprised by that.
Yeah, because you're the only one picking the 4. I'm the only one picking the 6. Ron and Doug going towards the 2. Bravo Kate's, who was a good third last time out against Ms. Nash in there. You know what I find too? Like this category, the non-3, you tend to have these horses that are 2 for 20, 2 for 25.
That's true.
They're just not reliable types.
Yeah.
You just can't say, with a great deal of confidence, I'm going to the window and I'm going to make some money.
I agree. 100%.
So it's a little bit tricky there. So race number 2 will start off. It's a very important wager now. The second race, it's a very important race from a wagering point of view because it's part of the pick 6. Kicks off that because we just have 7 races and it's part of the pick 5 too.
Well,
so that's a bit of a tricky race to start off that sequence. On the grass, my favorite distance, going a mile. So that should be a lot of fun coming up in the seconds. Okay, topic number 2 is pick 5, pick 6. Okay, because this next race does feature all of those scenarios in here. Now, Dryden has given us some great theater on this specific turf course. There's no doubt about that. One of my favorite races from last season.
Theater is true.
Yeah. Remember Dryden pulling the rabbit out of his hat that one day with Saheen riding? I don't know how he got through to win that day, but he did. And Napa Spirit's a bit of a horse for course as well.
Yeah, very true. You know, Mamba on 3 has the right type of chance to win today, but I did go with Dryden. I just felt the quality of the field that Dryden faced was pretty high compared to the opponents today. I feel Mamba on 3 has been in some tough pace scenarios, especially that last one. Look at that 44 and change. Not necessarily sure if Mamba on 3 will go straight out and lead, but probably that might be the way to see that horse home. But there are horses who are competitive on their day, including Napa Spirit and Tricky Magician. But I also didn't mind the run of Nishiran a little bit, just as a long shot, but I wouldn't say on top. I'm going to go with Dryden, just on the so-called back class.
Yeah, Dryden, listen, they're taking potentially a bit of an edge with this horse, going in for just a dime, but I'll go towards Napa Spirit. I think one of the stories prior to the whole quarantine situation was the start that Phil Hall got off to. And he claimed this horse, and who's riding? 04's going to ride here as well, so I kind of like that scenario as well. The 5 furlong races, do you find them on the inside turf course a little more challenging to call than the 5 furlong races on the Tbred? And the reason why is because, to me, a lot happens quickly on the inside turf course.
I agree. Absolutely. Very accurate. To me, that's exactly how I feel. And because it's a sort of the spin effect of that momentum that you really sometimes feel with horses, even though they are off the pace, you seem to feel like, I seem to feel like they're going to absolutely explode down the stretch. And I watch for those. They do get up a lot of the time, and it's a deceptive course in some ways because it's longer than it looks.
It's almost like it's a slingshot turn, I find sometimes.
I think so.
You know, you just 100%. Like they're coiled up and then
and I love that move. It's very exciting as a race caller. But you know, it is harder than on the main track.
Race number 3 will wrap up the first pick 3 of the day. Let's get to topic number 3, which is the pick 4. So that means we'll touch on race number 4 now. Main 15,000 claimers in here. I think you and I are on the same page in here. And you know who this horse reminds me of? Sultry Sophie reminds me a little bit Back on the Chain, gang. I think today is the day. I just think all the stars are aligning for this horse today.
It could be because of the solar eclipse that Canada is going to have. I hope you're right, because I feel this was a really good run last start.
Me too.
Of all those really supposed expected efforts and disappointed as a favourite, this might be the day to concur that Sultry Sophie just hasn't run really anything disappointing, but just needs to get there. I do see a couple of horses ran pretty well. Kimberlina made up ground last start. Maryland Spirit ran a nice race. I think the barn's doing well. Deborah Rombus. But I do like Sultry Sophie with Sophia.
You know, I'm still waiting for that hasn't happened yet, and I'm so disappointed it hasn't happened yet in regards to Maryland Spirit is I really want to see David Moran and Pietro just absolutely ding-donging all the way to the wire, and somebody wins by a nose, and I hope it's David one day.
Well, I was getting involved in that one when they were the other day when legal...
Yeah, Pietro was on the outside.
Oh my gosh, and I felt that David was keeping the edge pretty wide.
Yeah, probably.
And it was great gamesmanship. And it shows you, how professional they are on the track. I mean, it's all business, but at the same time, it is exciting to see them both riding in the same race.
Yeah, no, it is for sure. We've got some 7s there, Scott. Here we've got that 1 second-year selections. Third pick is Kimberlina in here for conditioner Steve Attard, so off that third place finish last time out as well. But hopefully it is the day here for Sultry Sophie. And you know what? I got to give Sofia Vives a ton of credit too, because I thought when she lost her bug that maybe she would struggle, but she hasn't missed a beat. And the girl never stops working. She goes down to Finger Lakes on Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and I'm back here. Sometimes she's at Alice, sometimes she's at
That's true.
When I was in my early 20s, I wouldn't have worked that hard. Like, that's crazy.
Well, she's ambitious in a good way, and I think it's great. I mean, you got to catch the wave. She's on that wave. I think she's proven that she wins stakes races. She comes from behind. She's excellent on the lead, and I think her confidence is important to her, and I'm delighted for her.
Yeah, I think she celebrated a birthday the other day. I think she's 23 or 24 now, I think. It's Steve Turcott's birthday today, by the way, so Steve's watching. Happy birthday goes out.
He's had a good run lately, too.
Yeah, I had a winner yesterday, right?
Yes.
With a dropper down in class. Silent Sofo was able to pull off the victory there.
This guy,
Just missed. Let's touch on this now a little bit in here, because this one did just miss last time out. And in fact, we are going to fire up the replay machine, and we're going to take a look at Gather. Gather is a really cool horse, because I've talked to Tony Galileo about her. They paid nothing for her. They paid $1,000 for her, and she's more than exceeded expectations. And here she is, Robert, and I think what made the difference on this particular day is she loses to Sterling Heights. Now, Sterling Heights has got this nice ground-saving trip.
Yes.
Sometimes the telestrator doesn't work for me.
Hole too, yeah.
There. Oh, now it's... Look at that. Anyways, the Sterling Heights is the 1, and here's the 11 on the outside, and the 1 gets a better trip in here. See, when they trust me with technology, Robert, things fall apart. But watch
and they don't trust me.
Watch this wide outside rally here with Gavin.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal second. I really loved this run, and I thought a stride later would have won. But you're right, Sterling Heights, beautifully ridden, came to the lead here and held the advantage to the wire after Gather had covered a ton of ground. But again, that's what the EP tail is about. You can come wide and get up. But I did think Gather, even though this is a seemingly tougher race, put the writing on the wall that next time out, and this is next time out, just didn't get up in time.
It's funny that you said that you think it's a tougher race, and technically it is, but
maybe not.
I think what's happened is I don't think the 15,000 claimers have filled, so a lot of them now filed into the 25.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think it might be a bit of an inflated 25,000.
I agree with that. I was just thinking more a pretty good joke.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think the differences are as marked at all. And as you write these conditions and horses float between those levels, it doesn't necessarily change anything.
Hey, you know what's so quirky about this game that I absolutely love? Well, there's lots of things about racing that I love, but one of the really quirky things is, like, some horses, they'll love that inside turf course and they'll despise the bigger turf course.
Isn't that
vice
true?
versa.
100%.
It's so cool.
It's so marked, and it's so apparent.
Yeah.
And I just write them off.
I know.
And occasionally I might find, it actually won on the bigger turf, but it's such a specialist track.
It totally is. It totally is.
Which is interesting, because it makes you really think. When you look at the types of turf races that you see across North America, and especially in the United States where they're very tight, and then you translate what happens on the EP Taylor, and you know how Europeans love it, you wonder just if those races were always, the top level races were run on racetracks like the EP Taylor, how different those results would be.
Yeah, no, you're bang on too. And like trying to explain that to a newbie, I find is a little bit of a challenge for me. But I guess I'm trying to come up with a different sports analogy, and I can't really do it unless by saying it's almost like a different discipline in skiing almost. The slalom ski, the downhill, like it's different techniques required for. You have to be able to handle those tight turns, and if you don't, you're kind of up for a bad day at the office, unfortunately. That's just the way it goes in there. So let's look at Just Miss. Let's touch on a cutback angle in here, and I think you and I kind of see this race the same way. So we're going to go 5 furlongs in here. Pinboy gets into an easier spot. That should help him out immensely, I think. He's coming back on a bit of a short time frame. But I was really following Signature Sir last time out, and Signature Sir, I don't know if you felt the same way as me, but he made this run, and then it's sort of like the distance just hit him between the eyes, and he said, I can't go this far. So now he cuts back in distance here today. Like, he's in a perfect spot in here, and it looks like he's gonna have a big run in this race, Robert, and then all of a sudden he can't quite sustain it.
But what I loved about his final 50 yards, despite all that, is how much he tried.
He did.
He was giving so much effort. And I think, this leader did not stop. I really loved the strength he showed to just even hold on what was officially
Like, he is so trying right now.
And I thought he is and then you could see he's not going to get up.
Yeah.
But, he did lose his spot.
But now he's just like, I'm totally out of steam. Like, I can't do it anymore.
You're right. He was done.
So now he drops, and now he cuts back ever so slightly in distance, and Pietro will ride here going 5 furlongs. And the problem is going 5/8 on this course. It might be a blessing for him. He's probably not quick enough to be up front, so he's going to need a little bit of help up front here. He's going to need some of these speed ballast to belt like we saw yesterday. So
I do like his form.
Who else do you like in here? You're taking a shot with the Denver So first time starter, I see.
I do love the barn. The barn is just firing, and Dale had a winner yesterday.
First timer,
I don't know enough about Apollo More Money, but I find Union Rags on the turf do all right, and then Pinboy I thought for third. But it is a signature Sirs race to get there, I think. Today.
I often say this with Elisa working, like sometimes when you handicap a race, what I do is I write down as like today's the day, like you have to take advantage of the scenario that you've been dealt, and everything shows that Signature Sir is never going to get a better opportunity than today to win a race.
I like that handicapping angle too, is it in the right spot today?
Yeah. And
can we sign off on that one?
Yeah. It's up to the horse after that, right? So you've done your part. You've entered to that point of the proceedings. You've got Yoda moving up in class as well. You've got a filly taking on the boys, girls night out. And do you have an idea as a filly taking on the boys as well? So that's a look at race number 6 on the program. Let's talk a little high five now. We'll go to race number 7. I'm kind of glad that you want to talk about this horse a little bit, because I hummed and hawed and I didn't know what to do with Commander Worsley in this race. So just give us your case. Like, certainly the barn's going really good right now. There's no doubt about that.
Well. Yeah, that's a part of the equation.
Yeah.
Very interesting run. The first run back, I should say, this season. I thought was a very good field.
Yep.
We're talking about Regal Guest. I think My Boy Bruce, I thought was a very good run.
Sure.
Closed ground. Then a completely different scenario, which I don't think suited Commander Worsley. But keep in mind, just going back on turf, Commander Worsley's run a very good second.
Yep.
That's another aspect. And I do think that Commander Worsley was right up on a tough situation where Pierre and Unbridled Weather kept going. I didn't expect a big run that day, but I thought was a good run for a long period of the race, and then eventually weakened out of it. So back to that race of a shorter distance might have just a little bit more energy to finish this race off well, because of having had a bit of stamina there. So that's my angle, and I do love the barn's success. They're not necessarily as easy to read in some of the moves they make, but they are working.
I like you're taking a price in that race, because I might be getting sucked into Country Living, who was a huge disappointment last time when dropping down the class. And then you've got Alpha Caden in this race. This one goes over the Kieran Palmer outfit in here, and we've got a photo of you and Alpha Caden. That photo yesterday with you and Kid Forrester was so cute. Oh my gosh, that was fantastic.
I love Kid Forrester.
Yeah, and look at, did you wake up Alpha Caden? Alpha Caden looks a little sleepy here. Yeah, I was going to say.
Like, are you sure you want to do this?
Alpha Caden's like, oh, just get the picture over with.
Pretty much. And it was hot.
Yeah.
And I did get bitten for the first time the other day. But that's the horse tomorrow, who I think that's a good sign.
Who got you?
You'll have to look tomorrow. Surprise, surprise.
So is it just one photo tomorrow?
Just the one photo.
Okay, so but
it wasn't bad.
So Elisa's back with me tomorrow, so I'm going to mention that to her once the picture comes up too. All right.
Yeah, but Alpha Caden, I thought was a good run.
Was it a filly or was it a boy?
Believe me, I can't give you any clues.
Oh, no discovery? Yes.
No, because you might guess.
Okay, so Alpha Caden, yes, you're right, had a good run. Has had a bunch of good runs, as a matter of fact.
Very good run last on the turf 2 starts ago.
Yep, on the inside turf course, went third and against Ray to Collect. It's kind of a 5 furlong inside turf course specialist, as a matter of fact.
So you picked Country Living?
I did.
You're not happy.
Because Marty's so good off the claim, and the horse was so bad last. I don't know. I
think it'd be hard to beat. Lumberyard is back as well.
And ran much better last time out. Much better with the reclassification. In fact, Nathan's got 2 in that race.
That's
so
right.
He might be able to do some
I went for the long shot.
Plays of the day. I'm not sure who's first, if it's me or you.
Uh-oh.
Let's take a look. Robert. I love this picture. See, to me, you look like you're about to tell me some tales of your travels.
Oh, I do like that one. That's thanks to Santino. He did that.
Yeah, that's a great picture.
Yeah, I like that.
And like you're going to tell us why you like Sophie and Sophia.
Yeah, it's a great exacta box, Sophie and Sophia.
You think that Canada's going to bounce back? I'm with you on Signature Sir, and you gave us your price play as well with Commander Worsley. So those are solid. See, my picture's so boring compared to yours.
No, they're not.
Yeah, I just look like...
the first one's out. Oh.
Well, this one, do I look like right here? Do I have a used car for you? Come on in, we'll get to you.
You look like you're going to make it hard on a deal there.
I've got a stolen truck that I can sell you that Robert Geller once drove.
You wouldn't happen to have that stolen. Beautiful Honda CRV 2001 with 485,000 miles on it, would you? That was sitting in the junction.
My special
April 28th. I went yes, no, I like that photo, by the way.
Yeah, and then my top picture.
We're similar.
I really like Kyle Catus today, but now the horse is scratched, so now
What happens when the one you really want?
I know. I thought he was lone speed in the race today, but it is what it is. Ron's best bet is It's Just Money, 8-1 on the line right now at 7-5. Wow, Ron, you've got a great following.
I like that horse too.
Yeah, Woodbine TV Prod. We're not sure who Woodbine TV Prod is. It could be artificial intelligence. We're not sure. Foxy Diva is going to be that one, and Doug going towards Gather as his play of the day as well, coming up a little bit later on the day. We have a clock horse we want to pass along, just one. And you know what? He gave us a good one yesterday. He gave us the Cody horse that ran very well.
Very nice run.
Had a big number
very good
too.
Run.
So it took a lot of money as a matter of fact.
Sky had a nice day, didn't she?
Yep, she sure did. And here's a look at his notes here in regards to Bravo Kate. You're not going to get a big number on this one, but still, if you get 6-1, I think we'd be very happy with that.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Moves up in class. A second drive of the year, might be a little bit tighter here today, and did have that work last time out in 5/8 and 101 and 4, getting ready for
101 and 4.
Yeah, so a nice slow maintenance move. So that's the thing. Like a lot of people say, I want to see my horses work fast. You can work fast all out, but if you work comfortably, sometimes that's better.
That's what I find as an athlete.
Yes.
Comfortable.
Well, see, I'm not an athlete, so. But,
well, you can be.
Yeah, no, I can't. There's no hope. When we come back after this break, we'll go down memory lane and talk about some Canadian Oaks, and we'll look ahead to some big races this weekend.
Love horse racing? HPIBet.com is Canada's leader in online horse betting. Access thousands of live races from hundreds of tracks worldwide instantly. Enjoy the most advanced betting tools like AI Smart Picks and exclusive cashback rewards you won't get anywhere else. Join today and get up to $100 in free bets. Get the ultimate horse betting experience with HPIBet.com.
This is the biggest race in the world. Pinch me, I think I'm dreaming.
They're off, Memphis, Dubai World Cup.
And they're into the stretch.
Two of the great racehorses in the world. Giant Killer, by name and by nature. A race for the ages.
All right, so it's coming up on Sunday, Woodbine Oaks program. We have the Canadian Stakes presented by our good friends, the Japan Racing Association. We have the Bet365 Connaught Cup. We have the Play Trial, the Woodbine Oaks presented by Stella Artois. I think the hardest thing to remember about this day is all the sponsors.
I agree. I really agree.
So 4 stake races, 10 race program. We have some giveaways taking place as well. If you're an early riser and you get to the track early, we have some free programs. That is a limited number though, so just get here early and we'll give you a free program for that. So we thought that we would look ahead to some of the stake races taking place this weekend. Yep. And we'll first of all focus in on the Grade 2 Japanese Racing Association Canadian Stakes. So, have you had a chance to look at this race, first of all?
Yes.
I'm worried about the lack of pace in this race.
Absolutely, 100%.
But I think the biggest hunch play of the day is Ryan Munger aboard a South African bred horse.
I know. Give me another. And the fact that the form was excellent until the Saratoga run, which was on a yielding track.
Yeah.
So if we eliminate the yielding as the excuse, it's funny though, Graham Motion seems to run second every time I call him in these very exciting big races, but I think is definitely got the has the back class for sure.
But that's a jockey's race, though.
It's a jockey's race, and I think John Velasquez is so dangerous on a leader.
Yeah.
I think Scarlet Poppy may go to the front. And I thought two horses were very unlucky last start. Ready for Shirl was unlucky.
Yep, we're sure
great run.
Yep.
And so was Crevel de Oro unlucky. So I think they're interesting.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. So that's going to be a real chess match, that race.
Really is.
No doubt about that. Let's talk about the Bet365 Connaught Cup in here. And Wesley Ward is represented with a real speedster in here. Kehoe Beach, and another one that caught a yielding racing surface last time out.
Yeah, he's unveiled some nice ones. We saw Monterey Bay win here recently. I think has very good form. Nice to see Cruden Bay back to defend the title.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big ask, but apparently Don's very confident from the quote I read about how well this horse is trained.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to take. I realize the layoff. Yeah, the layoff does worry me a little bit, but if you look back at last year, I think he only ran 3 times and he was ready to go right off the bat. So
it's a very good horse.
I'm hoping that's going to be the trend there. A rider change on Piper's Factor. That's going to be Husbands because Vivez is aboard Shards for conditioner Kelsey Danner. This is the interesting horse, Northern Invader. So we thought, I guess it would have been 2 years ago that maybe it's going to come up for the plate. Well, better late than never.
Better late than never. You're welcome. Come join us.
So
and Raphael has had an amazing run last week. I think there's no one riding better on the turf races than he right now.
9 winners last week.
Amazing.
And he celebrates by going on days.
I like your interviews. You have a very nice rapport.
Oh, they're happy? Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. So let's touch on the plate trial now in here. What'd you make of Scorchen's comeback race?
Fantastic. Yeah. I thought it was an extremely good run, given the lack of perhaps, workouts.
Yeah.
But, it was right there. I did think Notorious Gangster had a terrific win in the last start. I really loved that horse. Unbridled Weather's full of guts. This race is interesting. Call Me Sue's a long shot. Regal Guest ran well. I think this race could be a really good play to have a trifecta box in. And DeWolf is definitely a horse that needed the run last start.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be better. And the thing with Notorious Gangster is all of a sudden shows up at Lasix for the very first time, which is a little bit interesting as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. Now we're going to get to the Woodbine Oaks, and you've got a race that's a little bit top heavy in speed in here. Now what I've done in here, I picked Shifty just because I think she's the best horse, but I have no idea how Sahin's going to get this horse to relax because they were in a fighting match last time out.
I know, I feel the same. I feel Shifty, if Shifty goes and tries to run them off their legs, I think she could.
Yeah.
I think that's her best chance. I just am torn on Winterberry. She gets worked up. Revelers Row, I think, has a lot of potential.
I agree. Start number 3.
Looks impressive.
Yep.
Our Canadian Apple interests me because there was a lot of expectation last start. Great run first start. Wouldn't surprise me if there was an upset. But with the Woodbine Oaks, you're talking about there's been some long shots win.
There have.
It is a rider's race as well. Aristella's been a bit flat, but Rachel's great at bringing them to the fore right on the day.
Yep, yeah. And you know what, Robert? You look back at it and you just hope that somebody runs really, really well so they can stamp themselves as a contender for the King's Place. It's always great to have a filly in it.
And last year, I felt like you that the fillies weren't going to get there, and suddenly Caitlin emerges, and we never know.
Never looks back. Okay, it's trivia time. We're going to talk a little bit about long shots when it comes to racing in the Woodbine Oaks. And you have been here for 2 of these.
Have I?
Yes.
Oh, good.
2 of the biggest prices.
Oh.
Well, not the biggest prices, but just long shots. Like, one wasn't a massive price, but it was a surprise nonetheless. So are we going to go 3, 2, 1? I think we are. So we'll go to number 3 now in here. So I don't think Neshama was a massive price, but if memory serves me correct, this wasn't upset on this day when Neshama was able to pull out the victory. Yeah. Beats
Gamble's Ghost?
Yeah, something like that. Here, let's look at the replay. Here we go, right here.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
15 to 1.
Yeah. So Neshama was able to put $32.30. So it's not like it was like a 40 to 1 shot or anything like that, but and look who was riding. De Silva.
Yeah. It was a brilliant race.
Yeah, so paid $32.30 to Neshama.
Mitch Kosner, was it?
Might have been. Yeah.
Led the horse across. It was his big win. He's had many
Okay, now, you know 2015 very well.
I do.
Who won the Oaks? Yeah.
Academic.
Yes.
Yes, Academic.
Yes.
Oh, I love that race with Justin Stein.
Yeah.
Pinged away into the stretch. It was all over.
$135.30 for this little horse.
Yeah, such a cute horse, too.
Yeah, and it was a miserable day, too. I remember it was just teeming rain on that day. And,
that was great.
Yeah, 66 to 1. There was Academic. And the number one, you weren't here for this one, and you're not expected to remember it.
Okay.
It was 1981, if that refreshes your...
1981. Well, Just a Dash won the Melbourne Cup. I'll tell you that.
1981, it was a horse by the name of Regent Miss who paid a grand total of...
$122?
Here we go. $345.80.
Good grief.
Could you imagine that?
No, I can't imagine that.
Ticket?
That is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Who's the trainer there? Oh, my goodness.
What a great photo, too.
That is so good. I love vintage photos anyway.
Want to take a look at a replay? We got it for you.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's
I'd
take a
love
look at this horse pulling off the win. And where is Regent Miss? That is the $1 million question.
WHS.
We're going to find out right now.
Okay.
Let's get to the...
Back on the inside.
Do we have the audio for this call? We do. Here we go. Here's Darryl Wells with the call to 81-0.
Oh, to the outside coming out.
Tbred by ahead, Solar Command right alongside. Holiday Regent making a move in the center with Regent Miss. Here comes Regent Miss on the outside. Holiday Regent in the center and Solar Command. And Regent Miss is coming on. And here comes Regent Miss to take over the lead. And Regent Miss wins the Canadian Open.
Wow.
Do you ever find that sometimes when horses are big priced like that, you have to do a double check in your program to make sure you got the right horse?
You absolutely do. You absolutely. A bit like what I think the race callers did when Mind That Bird was coming through the back in Kentucky. Yeah, you do. I mean, it's just... And sometimes you think, this is just traveling like a winner, and you go, but it's 100 to 1.
Yeah. $300. Can you imagine that? We haven't seen a $300 winner in a long time.
Will we ever see that again?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Unless there's a huge plunge on one horse that just inflates everything.
Yes.
But that was winning like a 5-2 shot.
Yep. How about our cameraman Ernie here? He's operating this new technology.
I mean,
pretty
honestly,
good.
I trust him with any equipment, and he could drive a semi-trailer.
We're trying to
down
make
the
Ernie laugh,
highway.
so he starts shaking
amazing.
the camera. But he's not. He's a proven veteran, so he's okay.
He's great.
We're gonna take a break. He's a Yankee fan, though. We won't hold that against him.
I'm a Jets fan.
When we come back out of the break, we'll get you all set for race number 1 on this Friday.